This is TWiT.
Give us a 30,000-foot view. What problem is Cockpit solving?
So I'm a usability guy, and I feel like we're pretty far away from the Star Trek kind of, on screen or computer, go ahead and do this. These kind of very usable abilities where machines actually help us rather than complicate our lives. We see strides in that area, but it's not enough, especially in the area of Linux. So what I really wanted to help with was disentangle a lot of the complexity. And so that's what drew me to Cockpit in the first place. But that wasn't enough. What really drew me in was the fact that we were able to make a real Linux session in a web browser, where from the web browser, from the JavaScript, running in your browser, you interact with the system as if it was a shell script, as easy as a shell script, connecting and implementing pieces of the UI, talking with the system really intimately and closely. And because Linux has grown more integrated over the last few years with projects like systemd, with projects like Docker, which own part of the system. They take ownership of that part of the system. They say, nope, there's 1,000 ways to do containers, but here's one that's going to work, and we're claiming it. And it's the same with systemd. There's 1,000 ways to write, init scripts and so on, but here's the way that we're going to go do this. And by integrating those pieces, they make a project like Cockpit be able to expose that and make it feel very native to the system without having this confusing mid-tier that just gets in the way, like projects like Webmin or cPanel do. So that's what got me excited.
Yeah, and what am I looking at when I'm trying to use this? Am I seeing a series of screens? Am I seeing the LCARS format? Because I know you like Star Trek, apparently. So, or is it? What am I looking at?
So once you log into Cockpit, you're really looking at a task switcher on the left-hand side with various tasks. It looks like a menu. It looks like a typical web menu. And then the screens that you're looking at. So, for example, if you dive into the Docker screen for containers, or you go to the storage screen that lets you format your disks or configure your network, those are really applications. We make them full screen so they look really handy and easy to use. But under the covers, those are really separate applications running in your browser, single-page web apps running in your browser that each have access to the system with your credentials. So you're logged in, it starts a session as you on the system, and then these apps run in that session. On the system, there's very little running except for a transport that lets these apps talk to the pieces of the system, talk to Unix sockets, open files, talk to dbus APIs, REST APIs, execute the tools, all the same tasks you would do if you were logged in from a SSH terminal. And all the actual logic that knows about storage or networking or how to display these things or what kind of options are available, that's in the browser. So it's actually extremely lightweight on the server. When you're not using it, nothing is running. Literally nothing is running. It starts on demand. So I think we did a really good job of this. It's tiny as well. It's the total size is like, I think, 2.5 megabytes installed. And a lot of that is translations and things like that. So yeah, take a look. So I encourage anyone to take a look at it, and I think you'll come away liking what you see.